guess we're on now. So you're Bryan Smith, guitar player for INBREED. What's that like? The glitz, glam, memories, the fat chicks, all the beer.
Well, I'll never forget seeing all the fat chicks with you. But I never judged you for it. That's just the way you are. And
well, you're acting like I'm a member of the INBREED. You know, it's like.
Oh, that's true. I forget. It's actually quite exciting. I mean,
there was that one skinny chick. You gotta.
Sometimes places that we go, people know us. That's usually in our hometown, and.
Yeah, sometimes in Austin. We ain't been down there for a while.
That's true. That used to happen.
Yeah, so you know.
That used to happen. That's true.
So all your main influences in metal, you know. I know you're a big Poison fan.
Yeah.
And I know a big Cult fan. What's your main influence in metal?
Well, besides the two aforementioned
Brittany Fox, I forgot.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I know you like Brittany Fox.
How could you forget that? I have no idea, but I mean, we all went to the girls' school. I thought that was obvious, but anyway. No, my favorites: Judas Priest. Then later on, Metallica and Slayer, of course. Testament, because of the one and only Alex Skolnick.
Are you gonna tell me you don't like Tough? Sorry.
I
okay.
think I had to. Yeah, I like Alex Skolnick because he would go.
All right.
But you know what?
All right.
You got some more questions there?
Yes, I do. So, how important do you feel that one of the greatest movies of all time, called Big Trouble in Little China, how does that affect you?
Well, I think it really shook the pillars of heaven.
Well, there you go. It sure did.
That's pretty much the greatest movie ever. Right next to anything that Leslie Nielsen did after Airplane. Or including Airplane.
We all know you're a great guitar player.
Of course.
Yeah, everybody knows.
That's a given. Except for
how good do you play the harmonica?
in what key?
Any key. It depends on what key you're playing the music with.
The key of N, I'm pretty damn good.
Okay.
My best friend Daryl, other than my best friend Jason, is the best harmonica player I've ever heard.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, do you know the whereabouts of a certain female individual named Veronica?
No, but if I did, we'd both be getting laid tonight. And
you know, there's a story. It's like, there's a story behind harmonica and Veronica.
I'm sure you don't want me to tell that story.
Oh, you can tell if you want. I don't care. All right. Which gig did you have the most fun with INBREED?
My favorite gig with the INBREED is the Nightmare gig. We played in Bernie, Texas, and
you can't say that. That's the next question.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a mind reader. That was one of my favorite gigs that we ever played. Okay, I'll pick another gig then.
It wasn't a night gig. We played it in the middle of the afternoon.
I didn't say it was a night gig. I said it was one of my favorite gigs.
Oh, the Sea of Black parted that day for the INBREED. I remember that when we had to. I mean, they had to load out.
Yeah, but it was a nightmare. The Sea of Nightmare. Then I'll pick the gig that we just played not too long ago with Downside. Is that their name?
Yeah, and that was awesome.
You know,
capacity crowd, and we tore it up. And
there was this really cute girl there in this pink shirt, Mickey Mouse shirt. I can't get her out of my mind. Beautiful, but it was packed from the backstage area all the way to the other wall, and I mean it was just unbelievable. I think they said 400 people in a club that probably has a 200 capacity. And I mean, it was just jam-packed, and it was a blast.
Because I'm not a member of INBREED, I remember people telling me. I remember people on radio telling me that there was a couple of hot chicks right in front of the stage too. Threatening.
Yeah, our bass player,
like,
this Jason Dickinson, who thinks that his whole life he's had this "I belong in Poison" or Warrant complex, even though he's a metalhead. But that's where he's always felt he belonged, and he shoved his bass like it was a cock right in that chick's face, and she played it.
Yeah.
It was,
I let her play.
Standpoint.
I let her play my bass.
Very embarrassing. But it's one of his strong parts of his life, and he's very proud of it. And you go.
Well, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
It was you. I just said it was this dude.
Bernie, Texas was the biggest crowd INBREED's ever had. How amazing was that? Well, never mind. We already addressed that.
We tapped on that. That was an unbelievable day. We were supposed to play there twice that day. And we showed up and we walked in there, and I mean, the country that was playing on that jukebox was worse than this.
All right.
I mean, it was good. I love it. But
this is probably the most important question.
You didn't let me finish answering that.
All right. Well, okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you and former drummer Frank Hensley really have sex?
Not together. or not with each other, no.
You know, that was an amazing drummer we had there.
But we have both had sex in our life, just not with each other. And
did you ever try to dismantle his drum kit?
The only thing in that last comment that I would disagree with is that he was a drummer. I'm sure somewhere along the way he did have sex, but not with me.
So did you ever try to, complicate his drum kit?
That piece of shit was already complicated.
Did you try to disrupt his entering to the practice place?
Well,
did you ever unplug a fan?
No. Okay, you gonna let me answer these questions before you ask the next one?
Okay.
Okay. He had this old piece of shit Thomas set that, all the lug nuts and shit like that were rusted closed because he didn't break his drums down. He just threw them into whatever was transporting them to the next whatever. And but then he would stop in the middle of a song because he was old and tired and he'd smoked way too much pot to play. And he would stop. Wait a second, and then he would act like he was tightening something so that it would, give him a chance to breathe. So we were playing in practice one day, and I did that same thing in the middle of we were sitting there playing. And I was like, wait. And I went up there and tightened it down a little bit. After that, he knew, but it was Jason Dickinson. I know you don't know him.
Yeah, I'm the banshee from the north.
But he would always turn off Frank's fan or air conditioner or whatever, just to fuck with him because the level of disgust that was held by us all.
That's the reason why you'll never hear the Consenting Goat CD, because that's the guy who recorded on there.
Yeah, and he used those drums, unfortunately, on that album to record.
When he had an opportunity to get some.
Yeah, but Ike, the incredible, beautiful person that he is, that was engineering, had his drum set in there, and he's like, Frank, use these drums. And Frank said, nah, I'll use these ones where the metal is molted back, it's like bending back like it was in some sort of car wreck, or it had already been recycled, and wow.
So would you consider bringing out that one guy that we tried out? The guy that brought the Godzilla doll.
Before Frank, yes.
What?
If we were going to consider bringing back some drummer, I would bring him back before Frank, yes.
He brought a Godzilla doll out and put it in front of his drum set and he couldn't play.
Frank may be dead by now.
I get. Yeah, that guy was a kid. Maybe he knows how to play now. All right. So what? All right, this is the last question.
All right.
You ready to bring Holly's Homicide back?
I'm ready.
All right, man. Great interview. By the way, I'm not a member of INBREED. Well, maybe I am. Anyway. Later, y'all.